मार पड़ेगी।
सॉरी, बजट नहीं है
नहीं सर।
तो लोन ले लेना, यू कैन गेट अ लोन फॉर इट. See, if you follow my instructions and you do well in the next 2 years, I promise you, you will get nothing less than 25,000 when you graduate. Okay, you take a loan today. You in the loan, you can ask for your college fee. You can ask for travel expenses for 2 years. You can ask for laptop expenses. You can ask for book expenses. All of that, the bank will give you money. So if your college fee is 1.5 lakh, the college will give you 2 lakhs initially. With that 2 lakhs, you can buy a decent laptop, you can buy certain books, you can have some spare money for future traveling expense and other expenditure. And when you finish your college, you can start repaying that loan from the money that you make when you get a good job. And if you follow what I'm saying, I promise you, you will get a good job. We've always had 100% placements. It's just that we have fatted students who don't want to take up jobs. We have that situation. Neetu, where do you get all these different jokes?
सर 10 रुपीज पर वड़ा पाव इंटू 365 तो कितना 3000 आई सेव मनी.
हाँ, तो वो पैसे से तुम लैपटॉप खरीद सकते हो, कसम से. 2 साल में 6 हजार
बट नीतू,
लैपटॉप.
तेरी ही वड़ा पाव की शॉप है तो तू सेव उससे कैसे करेगी? तू तेरे पापा को देती है पैसा खाने के बाद?
दुकान में
देना
वड़ा पाव
पड़ेगा.
खाने भी मिलता है क्या, पहले ये सोच.
तेरी
अच्छा,
खुद की रामायण होने शॉप है वाला। ना?
तो
ओके,
बाहर का
आदित्य.
खाना तो बाहर का ही होता है
आदित्य,
ना बे.
okay, girls, 1 second. Aditya has a question. Yeah, you raise your hand. What happened, Aditya? Someone raised their hand, right? Joel had. Okay, if you,
Sir,
I can give you a number over here of a friend of mine. He has a laptop store, second-hand laptop store. He can give you laptops for 5,000. Okay, and probably
रियली
they'll
सर?
have a really. Okay, so I'll put the number on the group over here, and they have really cheap laptops. Tell them I don't know now with the demand, COVID demand, whether laptops have been already used, but I'm sure he has. The conditions, no conditions. They are good laptops. In fact, when my laptop had to be sent for repairs, he gave me his loaner laptop, which was everything working. The screen works, the buttons work, Wi-Fi works, speakers work, everything works. It's just that it does not have the latest. Matlab, abhi ka it's all Intel I Core, all that. It will be a Pentium Pro. It will be or not even Pentium. It's better than a Pentium. It's a Celeron, or it will be one of those. It's a decent processor. It means you can do all your basic office work can be easily done on the laptop that you get for 5,000. You can buy a 20-year-old laptop and it can do everything that you require to do today. It is only a gimmick. It is only Intel and all these laptop companies which make you think you're buying a very fast processor and all that stuff, but it's actually not true. What I could do 20 years back on my laptop, I can do the same even today. Nothing has changed.
Intel is the iPhone of computers.
Intel is that यार, वो बस बेवकूफ बनाते हैं सबको एंड सबको बता दे कि इंटेल इनसाइड पेंटियम इनसाइड ये कर दो वो कर दो फलाना ढिंगाना, and they make you buy new and new stuff all the time, but it's actually the same stuff which is always there. So we have to bring our laptop to class as yes, when offline classes start, depending on the lecture, you have to find out from the lecturer what type of lectures we are having, and if that lecture involves doing certain work on your laptop, then yes. Ideally, if you have your laptop with you every day, you can start preparing notes on your laptop. So start typing on your laptop itself during class.
फिर तो
All right.
सबको लेना चाहिए. Go
ओके
paperless.
सर।
Yeah, in fact, I want everyone to do it. See, because this is the future. When you go to your job, you are going to work on a laptop. They don't have pens and papers much over there. Everything is laptop or files. You have to have a file, a notepad, a diary, and a laptop. These are things which are expected from you in the office. So if you go tomorrow to the office and you show your face like अरे नहीं यार laptop पहले बार use कर रहा हूँ, then your boss will be यार तो किया क्या MBA फिर तुमने? And your typing speed has to improve. Okay. Now with this, let us get back to our graph. So if you have successfully done a graph well, let me present my screen once again. Okay. If you've done your graph well, you should get a graph something like this. Does everyone have a graph like this sloping downwards?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you imagine all of this is from data which who has provided?
We.
The class has provided. Okay. I have not put any of the data. But if you notice something very surprising, that whenever we plot a demand data, if I were to plot a demand data, I will always get this kind of a downward sloping graph. Okay. Are you noticing this? The blue graph. Ignore the brown one. The blue graph is a downward sloping graph. All right. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And look at the hypothetical, the theoretical line which has been given here. What the graph says is, whenever there is an increase in price, there is a decrease in demand. If there is a decrease in price, there is a if there is a decrease in price, what happens to demand?
Increase in
Demand increases.
There is an increase in demand.
Increase
Okay.
in demand.
And don't you notice this happens everywhere? When your mother goes to buy, who buys vegetable in your house?
Me
Daddy.
myself.
Mummy.
Okay. So now,
Atmanirbhar.
do you notice? See, normally when we go to buy vegetables, we have a menu in our mind. We say कि इतने टमाटर लेने हैं, इतने गाजर लेना है, इतना भिंडी लेना है, इतना ये सब करना है. You have these things, right? But when you go there, sometimes you notice, अरे आज टमाटर सस्ता है. Automatically, instead of buying, like आधा kilo, you may end up buying 1 kilo. If you find bhendi is cheaper, you will buy more of that. Does that happen to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Happens very often,
Yes, sir.
right? Like you go there and say, sir, आज भिंडी कितना है? 20 रुपया. अच्छा एक काम कर, 2 किलो बना के दे दो. मुझे नहीं आता है भाजी. People are so funny, I tell you ना.
ऐसे ही ना.
एक मिनट.
मुझे नहीं आता है भाजी लेना, खराब ले आई थी, उस दिन बहुत डांट पड़ी. Yeah, so my mother once sent me to get cucumber. Like, Kakri, go bring Kakri and come. And I went and brought and came. I brought the big ones, nice big ones I found, and I brought them and I came. And my mom was very angry. He said, which idiot buys big Kakri? You should buy
सिर्फ
small.
यही दोनों को कॉपी करना.
सब जगह बोलते हैं बड़ा लेके आओ, बड़ा लेके आओ, तो बड़ा लेके आया था. And काकड़ी पतला होना चाहिए, छोटा होना चाहिए. Nobody gave me instructions like this.
Happens with me also.
So that day, when I stopped buying vegetables, I don't go buying vegetables at all. Whoever wants to buy vegetables, buy whatever shit you have to. You buy and come. And I got ripped off, told me expensive bhaji. Aditya, when they see a man, right, they know ye chutya hi hai. Okay, and then they will. So men are not supposed to go buy bhaji. Please understand. Okay.
Rip off. So
Women get
expensive
discount.
bhaji.
So and secondly, na.
Akansha, your mic is on. We can hear you.
And secondly,
Pooja, your mic is on.
And secondly, now when we go, we don't like bargaining. And women can bargain to save their life. Okay, they can do that. मील में भी अगर जगह के बोल दो ना 30 रुपए बोलेगा नहीं 25 में दे दो.
Sir, it's not
Okay, वो
last में
automatically आ
20 में दे रहे हो, 20 में दे रहे हो, आगे जा रही हो, आगे जा रही हो.
So women can do that very easily, and men feel a little shy doing it, but it's very important, and that's why women, whenever women enter the workforce, if you join any company or you start your own business, women are extremely successful, extremely successful. Like it seems, I was listening to Jordan Peterson, this guy online, and he was telling me in law firms in Europe and America, the highest paid lawyers in the country are women. Okay, the highest performing ones are women. The ones with the highest success rates are women. but the problem is they don't stick on for the job lots. They work for 5 to 10 years, then they quit the job and they stay at home. They want to start a family. And but if you're the point is you'll already have certain skills which are very important for business. Men are a little dumb when it comes to certain things like these as such. But obviously, there are other issues to look at. You have to start a family, raise a family, grow kids, and all that. So there are other demands. So priorities change over time. But yeah, so this is about vegetables, and you notice the point being when I raise the vegetable issues as follows: when you go to the market to buy something, you have a set menu in your mind. But when you go there and you find out the price of those items, like when you go sometimes and you want to buy some broccoli या ऐसे कुछ hi-fi type of item, and you just नहीं बहुत महंगा है, then say नहीं यार broccoli नहीं थोड़े cauliflower दे देना है उसकी जगह पे, वो खा लेता हूँ. And you change the menu based on what is the price of the situation. And if you notice subconsciously, this demand curve has worked in your mind. Because the price of something was low, you went for that product instead of going for something which you already had something set in your mind. So with this, I hope everyone's understood the concept of a demand curve.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Bargain करके free भी थोड़ा कुछ मिल जाता है. I've seen my mother doing that. Okay, after buying all the vegetables, she'll pay the money. At the end, she'll say, दो इसमें दो थोड़ा
धनिया दे दो फ्री में.
धनिया दे देना थोड़ा. I said, Ma, when you go buying saris or jewelry, you never ask for any discount over there. चुपचाप जो भी दे देते हैं 25,000, 30,000, 1 लाख, 2
देते
लाख
ही नहीं है
चुपचाप
सर
लेके आ
वहाँ
जाते हैं.
डिस्काउंट.
हाँ, वहां पे कुछ भी नहीं देते हैं. यहाँ पे बेचारा गरीब वहां बैठा है, आगे फटे हुए चड्डी के साथ बैठा है वहां पे, and you want to make him poorer by asking for the discount. And very shameful. All you girls are all guilty of that. When you buy expensive clothes and stuff from shops, big shops, you'll not ask for discount at all. Only this poor
In
people
the
will go and
jewelry shop, we can't say कि दो earrings दे रहे हो तो एक भी उसके ऊपर दे दो.
एक पेंडेंट फ्री में दे देना.
मेरी
No,
मम्मी बोलती है लेकिन
सबके से 1500.
सोने पे चांदी का रिंग मांगती है.
प्रीतम तेरी मम्मी के साथ जाना पड़ेगा.
जा जा सच में पागल हो जाएगी तू.
Okay, so shopkeeper say 1,500 and mom be like 300.
But because of women's
Literally
only
सर मुझे
house,
शर्म आती
no,
है फिर.
because of women's house goes smoothly.
Yeah, the best thing about any this thing, I love reading the comments here. In any even YouTube videos, some of the comments are so damn funny. धनिया कड़ी पत्ता मिल जाते हैं.
So like
मसाला
Mission
चीज़.
Mangal because of
Mayuri,
women's team.
Mayuri, why aren't you talking in class? Why are you only chatting over here? You should even respond in class. But
Sir,
good.
I
I'm
know.
happy. Sorry?
Sir, I know Marathi well.
तर मराठी मध्ये बोल ना.
हो sir.
Okay,
आम्ही
the
तुमच्या
important-
सोबत आहे.
Yes.
आम्हाला
So,
समजते
मी पण तुमच्या सोबत आहे.
so,
जय
so one thing is you will
महाराष्ट्र.
learn. One thing is you will learn Marathi. Those who don't know Marathi will learn Marathi. Secondly, those who are shy will get out of that shyness and start talking. And once you start talking, then you can learn other languages also. Okay. So first step is if you're comfortable in your regional language, talk in that regional language. Next step, you start learning a common language which others can understand also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suprabo. Okay, with this, let us move on to the next slide. You all, and see, when I say this, okay, see, when I at the bottom of my screen, you notice there is citrus paribus. Now it means when I go to buy this vegetable, if they say if I've gone to buy tomato, mama said go buy tomato and come, and she's given me only 30 rupees for it, and when I go there to buy tomatoes and tomato is around 50 rupees per kilo. Now comes a problem, right? Then he says, यार आपको तो ये तो सस्ते में मिल जाता है. कौन भिंडी सस्ते में मिल जाएगा. So in my mind, I have an option to go buy bhendi for cheaper. Okay, but then now this I will switch to bhendi if it is citrus paribus, means no other influence is there. Nothing else is influencing. Price is the only deciding factor. When I look at price as my only deciding factor, then I will switch my demand from tomato. I will go to bhendi. But suppose mom is making one very special dish, okay, and for that special dish she requires tomato only. Then in that case, I will have to buy only tomato and nothing else. I cannot switch my product because citrus paribus is not applicable here. There are other influences. The other influences, mom has sent me for a very particular job. I have to buy this particular item only. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Like
Yes, sir.
onions, right?
Like onion, you have to buy onion. There is no alternative to onion. So certain dishes you have to buy. So whenever if there is citrus paribus, like in the graph right now, we are only looking at citrus paribus. The only two influences are price and demand. Everything else is forgotten. We are not looking at anything else. But in the real world, there are other influences also which come into play, and you have to be very cautious about it. All right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
So
it
I
means
hope now.
it's
Yes, sir.
exception, right?
Yeah, it means that this is a very special case we are looking at. When we say citrus paribus, I'm looking at only the special case of price and demand, or only any two parameters or any one parameter. I'm not looking at other things. Other things are all forgotten. Other things are all constant. Nothing is changing. So this type of study, this theoretical type of study, when we are looking at only one aspect at a time, forgetting about everything else, is called as citrus paribus. Okay. So with this, I'm going on to the next slide. So this is the first slide showed a very straight line. However, nothing in life is a straight line. If you look at nature, nothing is straight. It's always a curve. So even the graph that we have plotted, which I showed you on Excel just now, you notice it's a very nice slight curve as such. I'll reduce the graph a little bit. Yeah, it's not a straight line. It's a nice smooth curve. So that's what the graph, this thing talks about. There's a demand. And if you notice this, there are 3 points which are highlighted on this curve, and it says movement along the demand curve. What it says is that if my price reduces, I know exactly what is my demand going to be for that particular price. Okay. Just as in the case of Apple, I know exactly if Apple were to reduce the price to this amount, I know exactly how many people are willing to buy it. And that is called as movement along the curve. Along the curve is important. Okay, means I know exactly how the demand is going to change. It will follow this graph, and this is called as movement along the demand curve. Now the next topic which I'm going to take is movement of the entire demand curve, but this is going to be for the next lecture since we're almost out of time. All right. So for the next lecture, I want you guys to read up upon this one little slide. Read a little, come prepared. We will have a small discussion of the entire movement of the demand curve, not along the demand curve, but off the demand curve. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So
Yes,
with
sir.
this, I will leave the last 4 minutes for you all to raise any questions. Um, ask me anything that you require. Any doubts, queries? Has a CR been assigned in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who's
Yes,
the
sir.
CR?
Nikita and Pragnesh.
Okay, wonderful. So Nikita and Pratish, I want you guys to take attendance of the class. And once you're done with the attendance, I will send you Mr. Santosh sir's number. You have to call him up and you have to send him a WhatsApp image of the attendance. Is that okay? Nikita. And who's that? Who's the other guy?
Ganesh.
Pratmesh.
Ganesh.
Pradnish. Okay, so Pradnish and Nikita, are you paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please take the attendance. You know how to take attendance, right? Yes or no?
Just a minute, sir. I'm taking out the list, sir.
Okay, okay. Take it.
So Joel has a query.
Yeah, Joel, ask.
Sir, please put this PPT in class.
Acha, it's not on the Google Classroom.
No, sir,
Yes, it
no.
is not in
No,
the Google
sir.
class.
Okay, fine. Then I'll put it right away. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is on the Google. I I'll just shut down. Okay.
और सर वो लैपटॉप वाला जो आप बोल रहे थे।
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello, am I audible? Class,
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
I'm taking the roll call, sir. 60. Roll. 60.
हाँ रोल नंबर
Roll number 160.
हाँ प्रेजेंट
Roll number 2, Rebecca.
प्रेजेंट
Asha Vijayan.
Present.
Anjali Bajaj.
प्रेजेंट
Natiksha.
प्रेजेंट।
Saloni.
प्रेजेंट
Neetu.
प्रेजेंट
Akansha.
Present.
Pratik.
Present.
Nikita Dhodi.
प्रेजेंट
Shalu Dubey. Shalu Dubey. Payal Gharat.
प्रेजेंट
Buddharatna Sir. Shantanu Gore. Shantanu Gore. Nikita Jain. Nikita Jain. Pritam Jaiswal.
प्रेजेंट।
Mugdha.
प्रेजेंट
Joel.
Present.
Ajay Nagdevi.
प्रेजेंट।
Jayashree Nage.
प्रेजेंट।
Raj Naik. Raj Naik. Sachin Naik.
Present.
Mayuri.
प्रेजेंट
Neelam Nishad.
प्रेजेंट
Pooja Pal.
प्रेजेंट
Mansi Parab.
प्रेजेंट
Neha Patel.
प्रेजेंट।
Aditya Patil. Aditya
Present.
Patil. Jignasa Rane. Jignasa Rane. Sandeep Roy.
Present.
Yugandhara Satri.
प्रेजेंट सर।
Sandesh Savle.
Present.
Jyoti Sawant.
प्रेजेंट
Ofrin Sheikh. Offering Sheikh. Swapnil Shelar.
Present.
Rajneesh Offering was present.
Present, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Offering mark present. 36%. Utkarsha Sonawale.
Present.
Nitya. Nitya.
Present.
Shruti Tandel.
Present.
Present.
Gaurav Tare.
Present.
Nitiksha Tare.
Present.
Shravan Thakur.
Present.
Sonal Thakur.
Present.
Monika Verma.
Present.
Hitesh Verma.
Present, present.
Hello, sir. Are you there? So we are done with the attendance, sir.